Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to part 2 of the Conscious Relationships course, where we're going to be talking about your relationship not with yourself as part 1 was, but your relationship with others. Now, I want to get straight into this. I just had an insight, so I want to share it. When you're communicating, you're not just responding to the words of the person, but the energy of the person, which is a combination of their thoughts, their non-thoughts, and their emotions. So, also probably other things, but I haven't quite gone that deep into it yet. But I've gone deep enough to be able to complete this course. So I'll give you the best wisdom that I know. You got me. I got you, but you got me as well. Like when you send comments and when you encourage me, you know, it doesn't go unnoticed. It helps. I appreciate it. Anyway, oh man, don't worry. Just smelt some weed, and I don't like smoking weed because it affects my consciousness in a negative way. My normal state of consciousness is better than it. Anyway, so what you're saying, when you speak to people, if someone does something you don't like, don't have these rules that are like, yeah, okay, I need to be kind at all times. Yes, be kind at all times whenever possible, and it's always possible, right? And if kindness doesn't work, try more kindness. Yes, for sure, okay, do it, but in a smart way. You know, you don't just love without wisdom. Otherwise you'll just be loving and people will be mean to you, and you'll just stay in those relationships and not change and not move and not remove yourself from them. Yeah, look, if you're in a situation that you don't like, there's 3 things you can do, as Eckhart Tolle says. You can remove yourself from the situation, you can change it, or you can accept it. The best thing to do is to accept it and then change it. Because action's often better than inaction. And as Jim Rohn says, activity over inactivity. So that's usually the best thing, but also surrendering is the whole spiritual path as well. So look, okay, so alright, so you're in a conversation with someone. They're really sad, they're really upset, and they're going crazy. Just be the ears. Just sit there, surrender, relax the body. Just be present like this, just be silent. And it's a practice, so you're gonna get better at it. You're not just like, you know, straight out the gate good, but it starts instantly, as anything. It starts instantly. This is an unalterable law. Whenever something starts, it starts instantly. It's not like, oh, it goes from 0 and it goes, yeah, I guess you can say that, but as soon as it starts, it's on 1 or anything above 0, and then it goes exponential. And life is short, so it goes quick. So you're in a conversation with someone, just be the presence, give them space, give them spiritual space by being with them, not interrupting when they're talking, not just giving your advice and what you have to say, but what they have to say. Ask insightful questions. Just listen and ask insightful questions. Now, what questions to ask? Well, it depends on the situation. You got to feel it. It's a feeling thing with people. Like, it's all about emotions. And the tricky thing is, what Bentuna Massara says is, basically, words are manipulative by nature. Because you're saying something, they're interpreting it, but the way you say it isn't manipulative. The emotion, the meaning behind it isn't manipulative. There's only a certain amount of words, and we're coming up with more, so, you know, it's always increasing. But there's an infinite amount of meanings. So just mean it in a genuine way. Don't try and, I've got to do this and this and think. Come from presence, not from thought, not from ego, not from mind, not from time. Just from presence. This, here now. Looking around. I mean, yeah, but when you're in the situation with the person, yeah, don't look around. Like, obviously be with the person. That would be pretty funny if you're just you're looking around. You're like, I'm being present. Obviously, you wouldn't do that. That's ridiculous. But anyway, so what else? If you want to have the things that successful people have in any aspect of life, you got to do the things that a successful person would do. And if you want to do the things a successful person would do, you have to be the person who would do those things. Be, do, have, not have, do, be paradigm. you can really work at it from anywhere. You can act as if, you can fake it till you make it, you can, be it till you become it, in whatever way you want. If you want to start, so you have thoughts, words, and actions. You can, if you want to change your thoughts, you don't have to change them directly. You can change, the best way to change them is through meditation, but another way you can change them is through your actions and words. And if you want to change your words, you can change your actions and thoughts. And if you want to change your actions, you can change your words and thoughts. So, yeah. So let's say you're in a conversation with someone, you're talking with them, everything's going smoothly, and then they just lose it. They just as Dave Chappelle says in that skit. Anyway, basically what you want to do is you got to surrender, and you got to listen, and you got to be compassionate. So all the things that you want, the best tip for relationships is the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. And the law of attraction, you are what you attract what you are. Be who you want to be with. As R.J. Spina says, if you want, as part of one of his courses, I don't know if he'd be too happy if I'm sharing part of his course for free on the internet when people he charges like $250 for that course. Anyway, it wasn't actually, anyway, it's alright. So, the golden rule. So if you want people to be compassionate to you, okay, as the Dalai Lama says, if you want to be happy, practice compassion. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. But also, be loving. So compassion and love are like one. Compassion, love, and like all positive qualities are one, really. Maybe not all, but I would say most. So compassion, forgiveness, okay? What is there to fear in a world that has forgiven you and you have forgiven it? In the Course in Miracles it says. So, and in the Course in Miracles they also say, bring peace to others and see how fast it comes back to you. So, the mindset you want to have is, it's a loving response or it's a cry for help. So, if they're not having a loving response, send them peace, send them kindness, just be there with them. If they're getting violent with you, obviously if they're hurting themselves or others, that's not okay. You need to take action for that. If they're being mean to you, you need to remove yourself from the situation. You need to value yourself, because you can't help others if you can't help yourself. If you haven't helped yourself, you can't help out. It's like when you're drowning, like you can't save other people if you're drowning. You got to save yourself, and then you can go back out and help them. So the golden rule, that's the bit. And I know you're like, oh my god, like that's everything right now within like 5 minutes, 8 minutes, but you can say in just one sentence, just golden rule, and it's like, well, why watch the rest of this video? Because I download insights. So not only just quotes from others, but I come up with my own quotes, my own insights, my own wisdom. And yeah, and the thing, I'm basically showcasing where you can be. I'm not saying I'm like better than you, in no way. That's got tons of shit to work on. But I'm confident and I'm intelligent, and I know you can be too. Or you already are. It's just about removing the veil of your mind from your soul. So you just keep meditating. So if you want good relationships, you got to work on yourself first. You got to be who you want them to be. Be who you want to be with. So, and if you want that, you got to work on yourself. And to work on yourself, you need to meditate, because meditation is the ultimate growth, the ultimate investment in yourself, the ultimate personal development, because you're starting from the soul and working your way out. I mean, it works on all levels at the same time, really. So, because what's happening is you meditate, you're not thinking, and because awakening happens on the level of the body, and what happens is the soul bypasses the mind when it's quiet, and goes straight to the body and heals it. And then when you heal your body, you heal your mind. Because the mind is more powerful than body, because the mind can heal the body, but the body can't heal the mind. But that's not true, because in Buddhism they talk about healing, going on fasts and healing your body, because if you have a healthy body, you'll have a healthy mind. So being fat does affect your consciousness, but there are people who are fat who are really high consciousness, such as Ajay Spina, such as Kerry Kay. These two people alone are some of the most enlightened beings on the earth at the moment. So, there's exceptions to every rule. There's exceptions to these rules. But, if you want to be safe, take good supplements, exercise, eat healthy, meditate, look after yourself, read or audiobooks, practice getting your business up and running, not for money. Well, you need money to survive, right? So you need to do something. So you might as well do something you love, because it'll be sustainable, because you'll be able to maintain it, because you love it. And, oh shit, I've gone way off track. Okay. Look, so relationships. Let's see what we could download. So, it's all about ups and downs, right? But what happens is, so in relationships, there's going to be ups and downs. But the courtship never ends. So if you're in a romantic relationship, what you did to get them in the start is what you have to do to keep them. You can't just go lazy and then you both fall apart. But you won't. If you're on the spiritual path, you look after yourself. And you'll have good relationships. And quality over quantity for sure. It's better to have one friend who's like just fucking amazing, as opposed to 5, 10, 15 friends who are just like average, because you'll probably feel an amount of loneliness. So, and if you're looking for a best friend, just trust God, take the necessary action. If you want anything in life, bro, you need energy and effort. So energy you get from meditation, and effort you get also from meditation, because you become conscious enough that you want to actually do the work to change your life. But it's still hard. Life is hard, but choose your hard. The easy path often becomes hard, the hard path often becomes easy. So it's hard either way, if you work at life or if you don't work at life. But it's easier if you stay on top of things. Like a stitch in time saves 9. If you don't know that proverb, it basically means if you stay on top of things, they won't build. Because if you let them build, they can get worse, and it can take more energy to get rid of, let's say, 10 days of build-up than it would for 1 day of cleaning every day. So like for 10 days. Do you know what I mean? So, you need energy and effort. You need to... I keep losing my train of thought. This is something I need to work on, but honestly, I'm doing great. Like, yesterday side tangent. Yesterday I entered this state where my mind was like, I was in like full control of my mind. And I was very, very present, and everything was like holy. I was in low states of heaven. So basically there's hell, middle zone, and heaven. Demonic, human realm, and divine. When you're in the demonic, a high level, because it's like that, right? It's like a spectrum. So a high level of hell is actually good. It's the best form of hell. A low level of hell is worse. High level of hell is better. Middle zone, and then high level, it goes like that, of heaven. But yeah, I was in low levels of heaven, and it was amazing. I would not have forgotten what I was talking about if I was talking about it now. I went to bed and I kind of woke up and it wasn't there, basically. But everything's getting really good, and you can expect this on the spiritual journey. Things start to go fast. It doesn't take long. It's really fucking hard, because you're gonna have hard days. Even Jesus had hard days. Obviously, he was put on the fucking cross. But yeah, so energy and effort. Law of attraction. Don't worry about controlling your thoughts. So if you want to think positively, you do it, but it kind of just like comes to you. So you just need to be present, keep bringing it back to present. If a thought comes, it'll be, positive or negative, you bring it back to present. It's the same thing, whether it's positive or negative, you bring it back. And what happens is your mind, oh geez, I'm exhausted, just went up a little hill there. Your mind starts to purify, and then your mind starts to purify, and your positive thoughts become stronger, your negative thoughts become weaker, your vision becomes clearer, your emotions become healthier. Everything just goes up. So the best way for relationships to grow is to work on yourself first and personally develop, do some research, watch some videos by Leo Gura on his early stuff on relationships. He's also got a video, no, that's happiness, sorry. But his old stuff has relationship videos, but his new stuff, I don't think he's done a relationship video since he became enlightened. But he does have self-love videos. Actually, he does. He's got a self-love video, capital S, capital L, 2 different insights you can have. He's not just talking about self this and love the emotion. He's talking about, anyway, insights you can have, deep metaphysical insights you can have about the existential nature of these 2 things. But he says you need it. So if you want good relationship advice, watch that video. It's called Self-Love. The highest teaching in the universe, it's called. And he talks about meeting the other person's need. Another word for love is connection. So it's all about connecting with the person. The worst thing you can do for a relationship is have negative thoughts. Because they're going to affect you and your emotions are going to affect them, and people are just going to feel it, bro. Trust me, like, if there's anything I know, it's that. Because, sorry, it's funny because I've done it so many times. I've had negative thoughts about my best mate. I love him to death. And I was having these thoughts and they were like affecting him. You can just see it. It's just obvious. Like when you get the thought and then their response to it, like, and especially when I feel like I'm picking up on what they're thinking, and then it affects me and I see what it's like and I'm like, fuck, I really got to stop this. But it just stops on its own. It's like, it's a little pool of water with the dust kicked up in it. Anything you do to try and stop it, good or bad, intended, it's gonna make it worse. So you gotta leave it be and let it settle on its own. And this is what meditation does. So, number 1, meditate. Number 2, learn to meditate doing anything. Okay, bring it out of the bedroom into the world. Number 3, do your best to just love. Love yourself. As cringy as you may think that is, love yourself. It's not cringy, it's cool. It's not cringy, it's cool. That's a new one. Anyway, love yourself, and then love others, and then finally become enlightened. Because you're gonna realize that everything's a divine mind. I'm not there yet. I've had experiences, so I know this is true. But I've had enough experiences to know that this is true. And yeah, if you have a divine mind, it's all love. Like, you're going to want to look after people. And yeah, it's just going to be, your life is just going to be, you're going to attract grace. Oh no, wait, is that a Buddha? So I think there's a Buddha right there. That's mad. Little Buddha in the corner. Fuck yeah, it's probably a sign. No, it definitely is. Yeah, that's the thing about synchronicities. Pretty much everything is a synchronicity. Everything is God talking to you through the Matrix. But I like to think that the Matrix isn't actually real. It's just an illusion, which it is. But some people say like, it's the end all be all kind of thing. I'm like, I don't know about that. Anyway, yeah. So, all right, let's get 10 more minutes out. So relationships come down to love. Come down to presence, come down to silence. If you're silent and you're happy with yourself, be happy. If you're happy, which is a muscle, which is the greatest meditation there is, second to sleep, I would say. Sleep is a great meditation, but being happy is the best meditation, because you won't only be happy, but you'll become enlightened, as Michael Singer says. And the whole spiritual journey is surrender, so surrender is also paramount to everything. But yeah, so keep loving. You got this in the bag, bro. Like, honestly, if you're on this journey with me, bro, or anyone, you know, Eckhart Tolle or whoever, if you're on this journey, even if you don't even know that many spiritual teachers, and something spiritual is happening, and you're starting to meditate, you're starting to do all this stuff, like, you got this in the bag. Like, we, the elites, bro, or the elites of the elites, or like all these like Illuminati and Freemasons, or I don't even know that much about conspiracies, but I admit, like, I don't know, and they could be true, but from first-hand experience, it's like, we're looking around, we're like, okay, I don't even know what the fuck this is, you know, who knows. But basically, all these conspiracies, the elites of the elites, like, they don't stand a chance, bro. Like, there's two basically parallel realities happening. There's the negative and the positive. Basically, I'm simplifying. If you want to know about it, watch The False Awakening by, it's a $50 course. Oh, it's 50 USD, so AUD, it's 75 roughly dollars. $50 for a course about kind of like the elites by RJ Spina. I recommend you check that out. I'll have a page where I'll have all these links to all these different resources that you can check out. The best resources I know. The best resources anyone knows, really. I mean, not necessarily, but I've been in this field long enough that I know what is out there, kind of thing. There's obviously an infinite amount of content, so it's like, you know, take it as a grain of salt. Take it as you want. Alright, so these elites, bro, there's like the negative timeline, so they're kind of like pushing in and trying to like take over everyone's minds. Bring more fear, bring you back into the matrix, get you into the ego. They want to EGO, ease God out. And yeah, and then there's the other paradigm, the other timeline, which is all about like growing the soul and freeing people and love and wisdom and intelligence and compassion and forgiveness and gratitude and bliss and enlightenment and awakening and goodness. Yeah, and I'm so optimistic. Most spiritual teachers you find these days are like really optimistic about everything, and I'm the same. I'm not really, I mean, I'm like a spiritual, I identify as a spiritual coach, not a spiritual teacher, because I'm not like enlightened fully, so I'm not able to teach directly from consciousness. I mean, I am in a way, but it's weird. Anyway, side tangent. So yeah, so don't worry about anything. Just live your life, be fearless. I mean, we're so lucky to be in this country, or like in a first world country, if you are, because like look at all the opportunities we have. You can start your own business. You know, you can drive a car. You can get on planes. You can travel. You can like meet people. You can bond. You can love. You can do like pretty much. You can do a lot, bro. Like, just enjoy the Matrix. It's like the game of Sims. You may be in a Matrix thing, but like when you wake up, you can enjoy things. You know, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can change the world if you have enough energy. I had this experience where I hopped out of my car and I was wiping the front of it because it was all wiping the front windshield, because there's like all this like. I just need to wipe it with a fucking cloth. Anyway, and I went back in my car, and then I was hit with this flood of emotion and like thought, and it was like super fast, and it flooded my body, and it filled it up to the top, like straight from my toes up to the top of my head, my crown chakra. And then I was like in this state where I was in absolute success. I realized I was in absolute success. Like, I could have been Elon Musk or better. Like, I could have been the richest person in the world, or I could have been the best, like anything that I wanted I could have achieved. It was more like success, like material oriented. And then I had a negative thought about it, which was a doubt, which I'd been having kind of like periodically during that time in my life. This was like a couple months back. And yeah, and then what happened is it went away. And I realized RJ Spina was right when he said doubt is the death of intention. But if you just keep popping these doubts, like, yeah, what happens is you keep having these fulfillment moments. You get these clarities of vision, and you can see what you can do, and you can do anything. And if you have this energy, bro, nothing can stop you. So there's literally nothing you can't achieve. If you can imagine it, if you can create it, if you can think it, if you can believe it, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. So yeah, literally I believe I can do anything, but it's not like I just start doing it. Like, yeah, I work where I'm at, but I need that energy, and that energy comes from meditation. And it just hit me like it was all these amazing thoughts, and it hit me randomly, and it just like filled me up. I didn't have a say in it. It's not like I tried. It just happened. So what happens is you purify the mind, and you purify the neural networks in your brain, basically. You could say, we can, anyway, I won't go into that. So what happens is, if there's anything that I say on the side tangent that you're interested in, leave me a comment, leave me a message on Instagram, and I'll do a video on it. I just want to really just want everyone to be happy, bro. I want everyone to be loving. I want everyone to be conscious, bro. That's the main thing, consciousness. I just want everyone to be meditating and living in a fucking utopia, bro. And it's fucking possible, bro. Look at Mahatma Gandhi, how he changed the world. Look at fucking Mother Teresa, how she changed the world. Look at fucking, Abraham Lincoln, fucking Winston Churchill, fucking Martin Luther King Jr., fucking Obama, fucking, just like, Jesus, bro. Like, look at these people, how they changed the world. It's absolutely amazing. They're incredible. And you're the same. You got the same potential within you. It's the intangibles that matter. So yeah, just if you meditate, what's going to happen is you're going to start to have these visions, and you're going to start to filled with this energy, and you'll be able to do fucking anything. Some people are luckier than others spiritually. That is true. Like, Jesus was fucking talented, like, spiritually, and he became enlightened. I think he was an avatar, which means he was enlightened from birth. Adidas Samraj was an avatar too, but he did some sketchy stuff. But so many people do sketchy stuff. If you look at this is a massive side tangent. Anyway, I kind of said what I needed to about relationships, and now I'm just talking about other shit. But I'll try and bring it back to relationships in the last minute. I'll try and tie this all together if I can. I can. It's just a matter of whether I do it or not. Whether it happens, I will say, because these people change the world, bro, and you can too. So believe in yourself. Be on this journey with others. I recommend you get a friend, like a best friend or a couple friends, and be on the journey with them. It can be hard to find these people because they're a minority. Because the majority of people are kind of asleep, bro. It's very apparent. You become so intelligent. I don't want to be cocky here, but you become so intelligent that you see people in a cafe, you look at them for 1 second, you're like, Jesus Christ, this person's fucking so unconscious. Like, they're just like, they got this victim mentality, constant victim mentality. Fucking, oh man, it's paramount. It's everywhere. It's not paramount, sorry, it's not the right word. But it's fucking everywhere, bro. Like, so many people are like complaining and fucking blaming and fucking criticizing and condemning. The first rule in How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is what I should have talked about, which is how I'll tie this together at the end. If you want a book that's all about friends, How to Win Friends and Influence People is perfect. I'll give you a few principles. There's smile. There's don't criticize, condemn, and complain. There's use the person's name. There's about 25 principles. So I'm going this way. So I recommend you get that book. You get the resources that I've talked about in this video, like the How to Win Friends and Influence People. Got 30 seconds. Fuck. No, this has been a good video. I'm happy with this. But look, if you want good relationships, you got to have a good relationship with yourself. So watch that first video. And it's super simple. Like, all these videos I'm doing, like all this shit that I'm sharing, like, you can just say, meditate, and it'll take care of all of it. But once you have this knowledge, the thing is, I'm not just sharing knowledge, I'm not just trying to add shit to you. I'm trying to get you to a place where this knowledge hits you in the heart, and it changes the way you think, it changes the way you conceptualize, it changes the way you process things, and you have this wisdom within you, and it unlocks it within yourself. And hopefully I'm bringing you into the present moment. But anyway, that's 30 minutes. All right, thanks for watching the video. Yeah, I'm just going to be uploading more and more courses and updating them constantly. Like, so if I become enlightened, I'm going to do all my videos all again, and do them from an enlightened perspective. But I'll be enlightened soon. If you're on this path, you'll be enlightened soon. It's going to be amazing. You got this in the bag, and have a good one, guys. See ya.